I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I, of course, am your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me after an extended vacation. He's the reason why you haven't had an episode in over a week. Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. What you doing over there, lazy bones?
It's not really me that's the reason you haven't had an episode in over the week. It was my garbage laptop that I couldn't get it to do fucking anything. I'm gonna have.
We did try, but it was not in the cards.
I uninstalled and reinstalled everything on it, and I'm gonna have to break down and just take it apart and add some memory and a new processor to it, which is not that terribly hard, but at the same time, it's not fucking cheap. And
memory's fucking expensive. I was actually just looking at this because I had a laptop that just they sell these things with like, you know, this one was like super cheap, and I got it for somebody because I was like, it was like on sale, and it looked like it had. I was like, oh, that'll do the trick. You know, it's got like 16 gigs of RAM and like a couple hundred, like 500 gigs of storage or something. But like more than 90% of the storage was on like an SSD. I just didn't look at it close enough. It's like an SSD card, and then the actual memory was only like 60 gigs, and then like 48 of it is used on like bullshit that is already installed on the computer.
80% of it is the required stuff to just make the computer run and do the basic shit. So really, you don't have any. You don't have.
Yeah, and I was like, let me buy some more memory, and like the memory is like twice as much as the computer costs. I was like, I'll just buy a new computer.
Yeah, this computer, I've got an extra hard drive installed. My son's computer has a metric ton of storage on it, and then we also installed some extra memory on my PlayStation 5 as well. And it's not hard to do it, but the shit's gotten to where it's so fucking expensive. I was lucky when I got the extra memory card for my PlayStation and for my computer. It was before it went up the way it has. Like it's about 1.5 times now what it was whenever I bought the memory for these. It's gotten fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's going on with this AI trade and all these semiconductors and chip manufacturers and everything is like the prices are just going through the roof. So that's one of the reasons why they're making money hand over fist. But speaking of which, the Fire portfolio is up and running. I've actually just added some more trades to the portfolio today and just put that out a minute ago. So you might have gotten an email right before this episode. But if you want to join that, I'll link to it in the description. And the previous supporting members are already grandfathered in. But yeah, so we're managing that portfolio. It's underway. Pretty exciting stuff.
Well,
How was your? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was just going to ask you how your 4th of July was.
Oh, it was good. It was good. We didn't. It rained like a motherfucker at my parents' house, so we didn't really do anything. But I had some of my high school classmates came out the night before and hung out, and we drank and caught up and reminisced, and it was good. It was good to hang out and catch up with folks that I try to see I try to see people that I was friends with anytime I go home, and I never do get a whole lot of response. And this time, actually, decent number of them showed up and hung out, and we got to spend time together. It was good. It was all around a good vacation. I know we didn't get to do a show, but I got to spend plenty of time with friends and family and just kind of relax for a week or so. So it was good.
Excellent. Well,
do they do anything in Mexico, like, because especially in Puerto Vallarta, where it's basically a tourist town? I mean, I would think they would have something for the 4th because there are so many tourists there.
Yeah, I'm sure there were, some of these gringo bars that all these old expats go to, I'm sure had some sort of thing going on. I didn't partake. I did not partake. I was doing some stuff around here, some construction type stuff. And,
did you watch any of the 250-year celebration in Washington, D.C.?
No. The only thing I saw were the celebration in Tokyo, where they lit off fireworks.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. The Washington, D.C. 250 was pretty impressive. It was they put on a massive fireworks show. Trump gave a speech. The left was all like celebrating because they had rain, and so they had to like send everybody away and delay everything. But after they opened it back up, like the rain passed, they opened it back up, everybody came back in. They had objectively a very large crowd, and it was a pretty impressive show. So I mean, it seemed like they did that kind of everywhere. New York City had a big thing. Like there were a lot of big 250th anniversary celebrations that, for especially in like blue cities that hate America so much, they sure did go out of their way to spend a lot of money and make a big show of it.
Yeah, that is a weird like, I don't know if it's just Schadenfreude from these leftists that they just want everything that Trump does, like any sort of party or something, to fail miserably. It's just like, I don't know. Can't you just like take a day and just enjoy something?
They cannot.
It doesn't seem like they enjoy anything.
Their only enjoyment comes from other people's misery, and I think that's why they are so miserable all the fucking time.
It is a horrible way to go through life. It's a horrible way to go through life, and I don't know, the 250 years is sort of like a bittersweet kind of celebration, I guess, because when you look at where we've ended up from 250 years ago, it was a great idea, poor execution.
Well, and I've talked about this before on my own show. If you look historically at similarly founded democratic republics, we're in about the right time frame for where they tend to start to go off the rails, and we are going off the rails for all the same reasons that they always do. We are literally replaying the Roman Empire in modern times. Like it's really crazy when you look at the fall of the Roman Empire and what brought that about. A lot of it was corrupt politicians figured out that they could use the government to make themselves rich, that if they gave all the poors a bunch of free bullshit and expanded voting rights to all the people who otherwise shouldn't be allowed to vote, then those people would continue to vote for them because they gave them free bullshit. And then you could just turn the system into this giant fucking cash cow that would ultimately collapse on itself. Hi, does this sound like the last 40 years?
Yeah, except the barbarians didn't even need to invade. We just let them in.
Right.
Welcomed them with open arms.
Well, in Rome, to some extent, Rome kind of did that as well. They would go and conquer them, and then after they conquered them, they would allow them to become a part of the empire. So, I mean, a bunch of wars in the Middle East, and now what do we have? There are a lot of similarities the more you look into it.
Yeah, it's funny to watch like a lot of blue-pilled people think that they're so advanced and progressive and civilized, and it's just like, no, we're basically just like any other fucking species. If you take a step back and look at it, very predictable. Might as well just be fucking gnats flying around.
So what's the meme? It's
democracy is the fucking light that attracts all the fucking bugs and just eventually kills them.
I had a friend one time that said, I think we're more evolved than that now. It's like, no, we really aren't. Like, look at literally all of all the people that are like, oh, violence never solved anything. It's like, yeah, have you ever picked up a history book? Turns out violence solves like literally all of history's problems, like every single time. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, and just the level of it's not even the level of taxation, but the amount of people that seem to be okay with it in principle it just drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely crazy. And this AI stuff that we'll get into is like a pretty good example. And just all the Elon Musk stuff is a great example. It's like, oh, he's a trillionaire and he's not trying to solve like poverty. We just need the government to take some more of his money and then they'll fix it. I saw somebody posted on X, maybe I saw it this morning or last night or something. It was like Elon Musk took like, I don't know, whatever it was, like $25 billion and launched like 100 rockets into space or something. California took $25 billion and built like 160 feet of rail, high-speed rail without the rail or something. And it's just like, there you go. Yeah. But they just need a little bit more of your money. Another, 10, 15% off the top. And this time they promise they will deliver some results for you. And that appeals to like a majority of people somehow. I genuinely find it perplexing that people can't see
it
through
appeals to a majority of people because a majority of people, unfortunately, are mid-wit or stupider. And they don't have the ability to create anything for themselves, much less create their own wealth. So they are reliant on government programs to do it for them because they are so fucking stupid. They actually think the government programs will do it for them. My mom was a preschool teacher for 20 some odd years. And we were talking about the failures of the Department of Education because she was, for a union teacher, she was very anti the teachers unions and very anti the school system in general, and like got herself in trouble when she was employed because she didn't like the way that the school did things. She didn't like the way that the school system, the Department of Education, handled things. She's like, and she and I had a conversation about it the other day. It's like the Department of Education is doing exactly what it's intended to do. It's making everybody fucking stupid so that people will buy into all of this dumb bullshit and think that it's actually going to help them as opposed to being able to do anything for themselves. Do you see where Oregon is removing math and reading and writing standards from graduation requirements for high school because it's unfair to black students? It's like that. The civil rights movement did exactly what it was intended to do. It split up black families. It removed black entrepreneurship, made the black community reliant on the government, and dumbed them down in the process. Like, if you want to control an entire group of people, look at the civil rights movement and the results thereof. That's exactly how you take the former slaves and turn them into slaves all over again without calling it slavery.
Yeah, without the shackles. Yeah, it's a mental shackle.
Right. It's like the Rick and Morty episode. It's just slavery with extra steps, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like, well, like, does anybody just kind of sit back and reflect on like what they were trying to accomplish 250 years ago? Because like, what is the role of government supposed to be? Is it to provide all of this stuff for you? Because that's what they're doing now, and that's not what this was supposed to be. It was at best the necessary evil that was supposed to secure our God-given rights. It's not supposed to provide you with food and housing and free healthcare and free education and all of this other stuff that is nowhere near free by the way. I saw another good chart over the last week or so that showed the price of everything, all these different categories, food, housing, education, versus like electronics and just all the things that don't have heavy government involvement versus the sectors that do have heavy government involvement. And lo and behold, they completely diverge. Like one got significantly cheaper over time, and then the other sectors of the economy got ridiculously expensive. And it just so happens to be that it was all of the areas where the government has stepped in and made things quote unquote affordable. But yeah, this idea that the government should just be doing things for you constantly, providing this, providing that, that's not what America was about. And that's unfortunately where we are. I just sent you something. This person, I don't think, realized what they posted, because it was like, I don't know, some musician or something is funding Planned Parenthood through ticket sales of her concerts. And they, for some reason, they consider this a bad thing. Go ahead and read that for everybody.
Olivia Rodrigo to fund Planned Parenthood with concert sales after Trump defunded the organization. And the reply was, the country is in a bad place when celebrities have to fund social services because the president won't. Yes, that's not the job of the president or the government to fund this kind of bullshit. That's what private funding is supposed to do.
Yeah, and she's literally just proving that we don't need to use the government to fund things. One celebrity, I don't know how much money she raised for Planned Parenthood through this, but like all of these pompous fucking celebrities are, support this type of organization. Okay, that's fine. Use some of your ticket sales to fund it then. And then that way you get the funding that you want for the things that you want, and you're not forcing people that are, despise this type of organization to have their money stolen from them. And 80% of it goes to line, and probably even more, politicians and NGOs' pockets and everything like that. And then a couple crumbs are left over for the actual thing that you want funded, or that you don't even want funded in this case.
I always love, I'm not going to pull it up and we won't go into it in depth, but there's always at least one person that posts something about the founder of Planned Parenthood. Like she was she was a big eugenicist. Like,
yeah. Yeah, well, like 40% of abortions or something are black babies. So
I think it's more than that.
Maybe it's more. I don't know. Considering they're only 13% of the population, I know they also struggle with the whole
per capita
thing. But
say, look, we dropped the math requirements for graduating from high school for a reason. Don't go getting into the weeds on per capita, Johnny.
But yeah, maybe the majority of abortions are black babies. So they claim that this is like some white supremacist thing when it's literally the opposite. The people that are opposed to it are the opposite. The people that are actually doing it are the white supremacists in sheep's clothing, I suppose.
It's slavery with extra steps.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really does make you wonder if we're if any of us are in a free country. Have you been following any of this surveillance stuff, the flock cameras and the stuff going on in the UK?
I've just been watching videos of people cutting them down and destroying them, which is a lot of fun. I mean,
Bitch! They should check it the champ. I got home. Young nigga fall. Where's Ollie with the motherfucking dog? I be ballin'.
Yeah, so what are, I didn't know what these things were until I started seeing all these types of videos. Did this just start happening, or has this been going on for a while?
No, this has been going on for a while. I don't know if it's exactly the flock camera of this style, but there have been they've been using traffic cameras of a similar nature all over the place for different stuff. There was one where some chick had her phone sitting face down like on the center console of her car, and while she's driving, like doesn't have the phone in her hands or anything, this camera picks her up, phone is there, face down, and they send her like a $1,200 fine because the phone was there. Now, the state of Tennessee uses these for like they have tried to use these for speeding tickets and for running red lights. Yeah, red light cameras and stuff. And I'm pretty sure it was the Tennessee Supreme Court said that they could not use those, that they were not legal. It has to be an actual officer that pulls you over and issues a ticket. They can't just use this thing to send you a ticket based off of your license plate on your vehicle going through or going past this camera. So if you live in the state of Tennessee and they send you a ticket for one of these camera violations, you do not send them money. There are
these things.
Yeah, right. There are law firms that specifically specialize in getting those tickets thrown out. Don't just send them money. Find one of these lawyers. They'll get it taken care of. Like,
yeah, dude, take the day off of work. Dude, do not make it easy on these motherfuckers to pull this shit. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they're using all of this AI technology to find a new 1,000 different ways to rape you as a citizen. What is this? What is that laser pointer?
I was just pulling this up for the people that watch the video. You know, so we're not telling you what to do. Just saying there's some, you know, definitely do not. We're not telling you to do this. Do not do this. Do not point a 1,000 millimeter wavelength green laser at a flock camera. Just don't do it.
It's very dangerous. Yeah,
very dangerous. Yeah, could
cause a lot of damage.
Yes, do not do that. Again, it's 1,000 milliwatt wavelength green laser. Don't do that.
Yeah, and I mean this does seem to be one topic that could unite all Americans. It doesn't seem like there's any distance between people on the left or people on the right or anybody in between, that we don't want these fucking things. Now it's been a while since I've actually driven on the streets of America, like in an actual city. But yeah, Chicago had the speed limit ones and the red light ones. And of course they got busted taking the pictures too quickly on the red lights. And they actually there was like a lawsuit about that a couple of years ago. But the speed one, it's like you're going like 3 miles an hour over and they'll fucking ding you 5 miles an hour over the speed limit and they'll send you a fucking ticket in the mail. But now they're trying to use these things for all sorts of different types of violations and things that they can get you for.
Well, now you got the in-car bullshit too. That the EU now requires all newly registered cars to include a driver-facing camera that will monitor eye movement, head position, and driver attention. This comes as the U.S. has also passed a law requiring all new vehicles to have cameras inside them, with implementation expected to begin around 2027. Like I've already said, I won't own anything newer than a 2015, and this just solidifies it. Like I'm not. I bought Stephanie a 1984 Corvette for our anniversary. I will put new tires on that thing, keep it running, and drive that thing until it fucking falls apart.
But what's this? They could make it illegal. They'll be like, oh, you can't drive something from pre-2022 anymore because safety regulations or emissions tests. They'll come up with some bullshit thing around safety or the environment, climate change. They can make up whatever they want, and whatever they say is not the real reason. It never is. They don't give a fuck about your safety. Remember who we're talking about here. These are pedophiles and murderers. They don't care about your safety. They're not worried about that. They want to rape you 6 ways from fucking Sunday. and I did find this. So there's a new poll that suggests 94.7% of Americans disapprove of flock cameras, with 88.2% ready to take action if they aren't removed. That's what I'm fucking. Let's see if my response to that was like, let's see if democracy actually works, because everybody's so infatuated with it. If you have a 90+ % disapproval for something, if democracy isn't a complete farce, then there shouldn't be any of these cameras anywhere. And yet we're having to cut them down. And yeah, the stuff inside the car is super creepy. And I sent you the one thing about they're putting these things on garbage trucks to scan for violations around the neighborhood. That's another thing that they're going to do. Oh, like your lawn's too long, or, oh, you're doing work on your house without a permit. So now they're not going to have to send some fucking pussy around the town with a clipboard to harass you. Now they can just attach it to any sort of fucking government vehicle and have AI scan. Like this is like a great example of how the government operates versus the free market. The free market is going to leverage AI to make your life exponentially better. The government is going to leverage AI to rape you. Dry anal rape from every possible angle you could think of. Yeah, can you read some of that for us?
Yeah, Cape Coral leaders are proposing AI cameras on trash trucks to scan homes and yards for code violations, high grass, unpermitted renovations, and more, so they can issue fines and take people to court. We already have flock cameras on poles watching the streets. Now this. And it's not just here. Dallas has already approved AI cameras on sanitation trucks, while other cities are deploying them on code enforcement vehicles, drones, and more. Is this simple efficiency for our safety, or the slow rollout of neighborhood surveillance across the country? And I'd seen in a group chat that I'm in, some people were talking about, like, yeah, there have been some instances where these flock cameras have caught illegals or other people who have a criminal record that are out free that shouldn't be, that they have been able to apprehend these people because of. But at the same time, all the rest of this shit is like massive overstep. Like,
again, they'll use that. I mean, honestly, I'd rather. I'll first of all, if they didn't let these people out after 30 fucking arrests anyways, that wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
So we could fix it on that end. After 3 arrests or something, we just we lock you up and throw away the key, and then that's not an issue. But yeah, they're going to use that for the same thing they say about Bitcoin. Oh, it's only used by like criminals and money launderers or so. That bullshit, dude. This is always about control. It's all about fucking control. And imagine what a lockdown is going to look like. A COVID lockdown looks like if they got these cameras everywhere and AI things fucking scanning the streets. So you'd go out for a walk without your mask on, and boom, $5,000 fine or something. They can make up whatever number they want, and then they can garnish your wages or just go right into your bank account and fucking take the money. They could freeze your assets like they did and debank you like they did in fucking Canada. Like, this is getting very, very scary.
Well, and I mean, why the fuck are they using this stuff to go after otherwise law-abiding citizens who aren't doing anything, when we already have plenty of surveillance in a number of other places and they do nothing about it when people are doing this kind of shit?
This is terrible.
So if you're just listening, this is some fat retard got stuck underneath.
We can't even open it with you there.
Trying to crawl underneath the doors to get on. It looks like a subway or something like that. And these doors closed on her fat ass, and she can't go forward. She can't go back. They can't open the doors because her fat ass is in the way.
There was another one where it was a gentleman of a certain skin color that was, as people were going through it, he was trying to like run through behind them, and they kept closing on him. So he just kept going back. It's like, yeah. It's a $2.50 fare. There's another one. I guess I should have played the. I guess I should have played the intro.
Yeah.
My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards.
Isn't that a little politically, incorrect?
Oh, the hell with that. No one's gonna tell me who I can and can't work with, right?
No.
Yeah, busts through it.
That's Atlanta. I mean, there's just a ton of these videos of these people. Like, it's a $2.50 fare, and they are doing everything humanly possible to get around it, to break them, to like.
Yeah.
This is why people don't want to ride, public transit. It's
one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Speaking of public transit, did you see the, generational photo that took place on the 250-year anniversary of the country? Because this was like the story of July 4th, as far as I could tell. I didn't see anything else about the 4th of July. All I saw in my feed was poor black girl stuck on a train with white supremacists.
And by all accounts, nothing happened. Like, they got on the train, they got off the train. Yeah. It's like nobody got.
It gets even better. Yeah. So this is, the story goes that this is a racist, white supremacist country, and black people are being hunted down by these white supremacists. And here is the group, the Patriot Front, and they hate black people, and no black people are safe in the country as long as they're roaming the streets. And here you have, 40 of them in a train car with one black girl sitting there looking freaked out. First, and everybody was posting about, yeah. You're getting ahead of ourselves. Like I said, it gets better. But everybody's posting like this is this is just like this photo from 1964 or whatever, where the KKK were walking down the street and this black lady was looking at them. Like, this is a Pulitzer Prize winning photo, blah, 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 blah. And it didn't take long for people to point out that nothing happened to this girl. For as much vitriol and hatred the Patriot Front has for people of color, she got on the train. By all accounts, she got off the train. She wasn't harassed. Nothing happened to her. It's not like the dozens of white people that have been stabbed and raped and beaten on these fucking trains. It's like, it's really unbelievable that's the narrative, when you can, people were putting, juxtaposing that picture with the picture of the guy standing over Irina Zarovsky, or however you say her last name, the girl that was stabbed to death, and like 4 other black people just watched her bleed out.
Well, and then we found out this is what this chick does when she's on the train by herself.
Just listening, she's on her knees, like kissing the floor or something, and now she's pulling down her pants and dancing around.
Oh, she took a shit on the floor of the train.
Oh, she took a shit. Oh,
you got arrested. Yeah, she got arrested for that.
Oh,
that
should fit in perfectly in the Mount Rushmore of the left's fucking
right.
Heroes.
Stick her mugshot up there with George Floyd and all the rest.
It never, dude. It's unbelievable that they can bat 1,000 like this. Every single time.
They're not even much better whenever it comes to picking candidates to run for office.
Yeah, Graham Plattner. So let's go ahead and break this one down for everybody that hasn't been paying attention.
Oh, okay. So Graham Plattner is running for Senate in Maine against Suzanne Collins. Plattner is an avowed communist, but Plattner's also the one you may remember that has the Nazi death camp tattoo right here on his chest. And they're like, "Oh no, that's not a Nazi death camp tattoo." And then everybody went and is like, "Yeah, that's like the Nazi death camp from the Nazi death camp. Like, that's the one." And then he was like, "Oh, well, I just got that when I was like in Germany because I just thought it was cool looking." It's like, yeah, that's It's not one that you just kind of get. You know what you know
On
what
a
I
whim.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not,
it's
it was
like
not a small
big-
tattoo.
Yeah, and it's big, and then he ended up getting a cover up done of it, and then after that, there were also allegations of him being pretty racist and otherwise bigoted and horrible on Reddit, which they just explained that away. There was also apparently he had been sending inappropriate messages to minors on like Kick and some other platform, and all of that was fine. Well, now he's got 2 rape allegations against him, and the most damning thing that he's done in the last 2 weeks is all of the polling was showing that Suzanne Collins was about to absolutely beat his ass. So he has to drop out of the race, and now they're going to pick somebody else. Never mind, for the party that loves democracy, they had a primary. They elected this guy to be their pick on the ballot, and now I think they had until the 13th to drop out. So less than a week before he has to drop out, they get him to drop off the ticket, and they're going to replace him with somebody who polls better, I guess. Although the leading candidate to replace him also has some sexual assault and domestic violence charges pending against him. So like they're not.
Yeah, this guy was like the left's answer to like a Trumpian type candidate, because the way he would talk was very Trumpian, but like you said, in a communist sort of way, with a communist bend to it. But so they were overlooking all of these things that should be fucking deal breakers. I mean, Elon Musk went like this, and the context was nowhere near anything resembling Nazism, but they ran with that for months. And this guy has an actual Nazi tattoo on his chest, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, we can overlook that. Oh yeah, we can overlook this, we can overlook that. Apparently he got married like 3 years ago, and he's been like, cheating on his wife and like sexting like 8 other women or something in 3. Like, it's just a crazy amount of stuff that they were willing to overlook just to get a candidate that isn't like a colossal feminist pussy. And then finally the deal breaker of all deal breakers is apparently sexual assault, which like one of his ex-girlfriends was saying like he like broke into her house or something while they were dating.
Yeah,
he
broke into her house while they were dating. She had told him not to come over, and he came over anyway. Broke in, had sex with her, even though she had asked him to leave and told him not to. And so they asked her. She said, like, technically, yes, it was rape. And she really supporting it because she really agrees with his politics and thinks that he's the right candidate. Like,
yeah. And so the other allegation, it was from like a Republican chick. And so they wrote that one off immediately because like, oh, wow. But she dated him. Like, again, another one of his girlfriends, but disagreed with him politically. And they were able to, just slough that one off because that's a Republican claiming rape. But now it's like, now they finally reached the tipping point, I guess. And again, dude, I really hate how every time some man runs for office, like as soon as the election comes up, there's these types of allegations. Whether or not they're true, again, it's always like a he said, she said kind of thing. There does seem to be some teeth to these allegations, but either way, like it just seems like this guy's a scumbag. By any, like, even if you take it in the most generous light, it's like, okay, he's still like, seems like a pretty big fucking scumbag. Seems like a pretty big scumbag. Even if he didn't, let's say he didn't rape these girls, he still did a lot of very, very questionable things.
Well, and he is still, even though he dropped out, he is still denying the allegations and says that the Democratic establishment is trying to undermine their movement, meaning the communist takeover of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't put it past them. I really wouldn't. But again, it's just like you kind of got to know that that's going to be a tactic, and maybe choose a candidate with a slightly cleaner background.
Well, they weren't planning on. I don't think they were planning on getting rid of him until all the polling data showed that Suzanne Collins was just going to straight beat the brakes off of him, which Suzanne Collins is fucking terrible. But like Suzanne Collins is so bad. Like, how bad does the Democrat candidate have to be that polling shows she's still going to beat them? Like, you can't put somebody up that can beat Suzanne Collins' terrible ass. It's like, this is the lowest of the low-hanging fruit, and you still fucking whiffed. Like, just drop him out and don't even bother running anybody at all. Save the money for another race.
Yeah. Okay. So you're thinking that they're kind of trying to save face. He was going to lose anyway, so now they can come out and be against all of the raping.
They can be against all of his bullshit. They can throw him under the bus. They can move on to a candidate who may also lose, but at least won't be quite such a eyesore on the party in the process of losing. Like, yeah, I fully think that. I mean, he had their full support just a month ago, and now, like, and it's not like any of this was new. Like, they vet these motherfuckers. They knew all of this shit going into it. So, like, they knew if he was polling better, I don't think they would have said anything about it. I don't think if he was polling better, the Democrat chick who agrees with him, who said he raped her, ever would have come forward and said and told that he raped her.
Yeah, well, I think where did I hear that? You know, I think like the New York Times ran the story originally, and they kind of whitewashed that chick's allegations to make it seem like it wasn't that bad. And then she came out and did like a correction to that. I forget who she did it with, but she's like, no, this was like she was making the rounds on like talk shows. It's like, yeah, this was technically rape. Like that first article was sort of like their way of addressing it, but not really addressing it, to kind of just get the story out there, but make it seem like it wasn't really that bad, but they covered it technically. And so now it's in the past, and she came out and she's like, no, this guy fucking raped me, dude. You almost have to feel for him, because they want some sort of like a badass candidate that isn't some little soy boy, and this is what they end up with. I don't know who's in charge of these things, but it's almost like the exact same people that are doing the casting for Hollywood movies. They do about as good of a job.
What you mean having a 5'0" woman play one of the greatest warriors of all time? No, I guess it's not Achilles. Ellen Page was not cast as Achilles. It was some other Greek, the one who convinced the Trojans to let the Trojan horse be brought into the city. So I guess a conniving, sniveling little thing might be more fitting. But look how pitiful this is. And like, this dude is just a normal sized dude. He ain't like
he's not 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he's not some like Scandinavian giant. He's just a regular guy.
Dude, this is like, I don't think I'd ever seen her like in full frame, like her entire body on camera. Dude, that looks like a kid, like an 8-year-old kid put on his dad's suit and was like playing around with it.
Well, every clip or video or anything I've seen of Elliot Page having conversations with people and walking around and like doing stuff, remember, I don't know if we got like in the weeds on it. Do you remember like the early Dylan Mulvaney videos? There was like when Dylan was 5 days of being a girl and all of that shit. Like the first month or so of Dylan Mulvaney doing the whole bit, it was like a dude pretending to be a chick, and it was funny. Every video that I've seen of Elliot Page, it's like what a chick thinks it is to be a dude, and it's more sad and humorous than anything. It's like that is very much what the female mind thinks it's like to be a man. You are not being a man. You are being a woman pretending to be a man. And everything about the way she talks and carries herself and like the photo shoots and like the fucking oversized, like everything about it is like, this is what a woman thinks it's like to be a man. This is not what it actually is to be a man.
And she's way off. But I don't think I'd ever seen, like, every interview I saw was just kind of like how we look, like from the shoulders up or something. Like I never saw her standing next to like an actual person. She is fucking tiny, dude, and she's wearing this poorly tailored, oversized brown suit. I was joking around like she could actually play that guy's Achilles heel. Like she's about the size of that guy's Achilles heel. She's like a fucking midget, dude. It's hilarious. It's unbelievable that they cast her in that role. And then of course we already went through the Helen of Troy.
Ellen Page is 5'1", 99 pounds.
Yeah. It like, dude, if you had like a 10-year-old kid and he got into your closet and like put on one of your suits because he wanted to like pretend to be an adult for a day, like that's what they would look like walking around.
I need to bring Nadia out here. I think that's about how big Nadia is. Nadia is like 5 foot even and weighs about 85 pounds. So like I need to bring Nadia out here and just have her, because if Nadia stands here, she's about right here. Like me sitting down is about the size of Ellen Page.
Yeah, dude, oh man, she's just getting ripped in the comments. They're making her into like a ventriloquist doll and stuff. It looks exactly like a oh man, it's just too goddamn funny. And I mean, by all accounts, this is supposed to be like a good movie.
Is it, or is it just?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I probably won't watch it. But it's what's his face, Christopher Nolan or whatever.
Did you see? Okay, so the version of the Odyssey that Christopher Nolan based this off of was written by some feminist retard in like 2018.
That's right.
Which is objectively considered one of the worst interpretations of the Odyssey ever created. And
nothing of any value has been produced by feminism.
Correct.
Or ever will. But yeah, everyone's like Christopher Nolan. I'm like, okay, but how much can he really do with this pile of shit?
Like the Batman trilogy was really good, and Inception was good if you like that kind of stuff. And Interstellar was a big movie. I didn't think it was bad.
It's going to be on IMAX, right? This is an IMAX movie.
Oh, this is
I think so.
I went and saw the new He-Man movie in IMAX, and I'm glad I did. It was a lot of fucking fun. If you are a fan of He-Man and you are not going into this expecting to take it too seriously, it's a lot of fucking fun. But
I was just picturing Elliot Page playing He-Man.
That would be amazing.
God damn, dude. It really is something, man. Her as Achilles. and the Helen of Troy is like some Ethiopian chick. Okay. Yeah. Nailed it. Unbelievable. Is she Ethiopian or some? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Either way, it's not the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Greek goddess with nice olive skin.
Right. They could have cast
beautiful woman in the world, the face that that launched 1,000 ships.
They could have cast Sophie Cunningham for that role, given her literally no speaking lines, and it would have been infinitely better than whatever the fuck they did with it.
Yeah. Dude, should we just start becoming big-time Hollywood producers? I think we could just run circles around all these idiots.
The problem is they don't want movies that are going to make money, and they don't want because Hollywood is a money laundering scheme. I think we've talked about it before, but like they don't want movies that are going to make money. They want movies that are going to win awards, and they changed all these requirements for the awards, where you have to have X number of characters who fit check all of these DEI boxes and all of this other bullshit, and you have to have so many people in the staff and on the crew and all of this other bullshit in order to qualify for the awards. So now what we're going to get is woke slop, like what this is objectively probably going to be, as opposed to actually good movies, because a good movie is not going to by all probability qualify for the awards. So in order to qualify for the awards, they have to just add all of this extra retarded bullshit into it. And I have absolutely no hopes for it. There have been some movies that I have gone to the theater to see just to see if it was going to be as bad as what I thought it would. So far, 100%, every single one that I went to see was all of as bad as I thought it would be. So I'm going to pass. I passed on Supergirl. I'm going to pass on The Odyssey. I'll wait for them to come out on streaming, and then I'll see how bad it is. I'll sit here with a bottle of fucking bourbon and laugh my ass off at just how terrible it is.
Yeah. Did you oh shit. I just forgot what I was going to ask you. Huh. Oh well.
Oh. Katie wanted to go see Obsession, the movie that has kicked the like super duper low budget horror movie that has kicked the ass of every single other movie in theaters for the last 2 months. It was intense. It was definitely intense. It's if you don't like horror movies and you're not and if you're a little bit squeamish, then don't do
see
it.
that one.
Yeah.
What about what about that one that was banned in Germany? Citizen something or other?
I saw it on Prime. I might sit down and watch it tonight or tomorrow night. Stephanie wasn't feeling good this week, so I've been spending time with her. Yeah, I might sit down and watch it. What was it? Citizen Vigilante or something like that?
Yeah, that's what it was. Citizen Vigilante. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And Elon hyped it up quite a bit. I mean, it's just it looks like it's along the lines of Taken and those sort of movies. Like, you hurt my family, I'm going to get revenge. And like, it's not like it's something that, it's not something where it's like unique or necessarily a new idea, but to do it the way this movie appears to have been done in the modern era, it's kind of didn't think somebody would actually still do that. The director, I think, was Yui Boll. He had one called Rampage that came out back in the early 2000s, I think around like 6 or 7. And it's about this dude that just like straps on body armor and shoots up a whole town. It was interesting. He's on like a anti-establishment kick, and like there's reasoning behind why he does it, and it's interesting. There's some message there. Or if you just want to watch a dude strap on body armor and walk around shooting people, then there's that too. Yeah, well, and there's the whole Streisand effect to this being banned in Germany. So yeah, I'd probably watch it too. I think I saw it. I have the super box or whatever here. Oh, yes, I saw it on there, so I might watch it maybe this weekend. Heck yeah, we'll see. A little cloudy today. I don't know. Maybe I'll have some time to sit around and watch something like that. Anyway, is that anything else today? There's a lot of stuff over the last week we didn't really get to. I say we had some other stuff, but none of it was super duper. I guess we can close on Mitch McConnell and whether or not he is actually dead. Because there were rumors going around earlier this week that McConnell was brain dead, and then I thought this was the funniest thing was there were a bunch of like right-wing politicians who were posting. I had a 20-minute conversation with him. I had a 45-minute conversation with him. We talked about this and this and that, and it was all meant to be tongue-in-cheek. And then fucking ABC and some other like mainstream news network wrote articles talking about all of these Republican politicians who said that they had conversations with him and stuff. It's like, y'all do know that they were trolling, right? That wasn't serious. It's like, so anyway, is he dead? Isn't he dead? I don't know, but they do say CNN has stated that they have video footage of Mitch McConnell being rolled into an ambulance with no urgency, and that he was filmed lying still underneath blankets. So you can't. Somebody was brought out of his home and put into an ambulance. You can't see that it is necessarily him, but that's the suspicion, especially considering his wife bugged out to China as soon as he went in the hospital like 2 weeks ago. And as far as I'm aware, hasn't come back. So,
yeah, well, and there's some sort of thing I heard with the timing of this and Thomas Massey could somehow have an opportunity to get into something if he's incapacitated. I forget exactly how it works.
I don't know how that would work because Massey lost his primary, but he's still in the House until January. Because Massey lost his primary back in May. McConnell didn't run again, and they've already. I think the guy's name is Andy Barr, the guy who is, in all likelihood, going to succeed Mitch McConnell. So McConnell is technically still in office until January. Massey is still in office until January. Like, their primaries have already been held. In the event that McConnell is dead, then the Kentucky GOP will submit 3 names to Governor Beshear, and then Beshear has to pick one of the 3 names that the GOP submits to take McConnell's place until January after the election in November. So I don't know how that would work.
I don't remember. I don't know if I got any sort of details, but somebody was talking. Maybe it was on Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, I'm not
Said
sure
something about it. Like there was some sort of angle that Thomas Massey could take to get back in there, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I'm not sure how that would work because McConnell was already done. Like he was not going to be in office past January anyway. But
they had to hide it for like another month or something like that to get past some sort of deadline so that Thomas Massey was ineligible for something. Anyway, it's fun to dream. It's fun to dream.
It will be interesting. My dad he said Beshear will just put some liberal in there. It's like he doesn't have that option. And unless the GOP gives him a liberal, I was like, what the GOP needs to do is go with 2 full-on fascists and then somebody that's just like mostly fascist and be like, all right, here's your 3 choices. Like pick the one that you like the most out of 2 fascists and a borderline fascist. Like, yeah, that's what I would do if I was running the Kentucky GOP. And if I could do one thing over again in my life, it would be go back to 2004 when I was very heavily involved with the Kentucky GOP and just hang around and run that fucking thing. And then that's exactly what I've done.
Oh yeah,
got out of politics too early.
Yeah. Speaking of fascists, there was another illegal immigrant gunned down by ICE the other day.
Oh, I saw that. Dude you had commented on it. The dude wrecked his car, jumped out of the car and just starts shooting at him in the middle of the street, leaves the car to roll off.
Oh no, that was a different one.
Oh, I think everyone. I liked your.
I think that was different. Yeah. I don't know what that one was, dude. That was just like a car chase or something. But apparently, well, it depends on who you listen to. So either this guy was just going to work and minding his own business. He'd been living here for 35 years as a construction worker, and ICE just gunned him down in cold blood. Or ICE was trying to apprehend him, and he was trying to ram them with his car, and they shot him. We're going to wait for the body cam footage to come out. We need a full investigation, of course. We can't jump to any conclusions. But here's my rule of thumb is as soon as I see, Ro Khanna and Elizabeth Warren and Zohran Mamdani saying that this guy was gunned down in cold blood. I'm 99.9% sure that that is not what happened. And I'm going to go way out on a limb and say he was trying to ram his car into something. Who knows? And he ended up getting shot as a result. But that's the most. So they might be trying to ramp that stuff back up now that the midterms are coming up close. We'll get some more useful idiots on that end to sacrifice their lives. And
the right or the Trump administration is ramping up deportations and stuff right now. So it would only make sense that in response to that, the left would start ramping up anti-ICE protests and everything else. Because I mean that was a big sticking point for the 2024 election was we're going to deport all these illegals, and then they kind of they didn't back off so much as it became less public. They've still been actually deportation numbers have still been running pretty high over the last 6 months. But after some of the stuff in Minnesota back during the winter months, they scaled a lot of the really aggressive public side of it back. So now they're starting to ramp up and escalate that a bit more and have more of a public face to it. And so the natural response is going to be the left is going to ramp up their anti-ICE protests and everything else. I thought you were talking about this. This was...
this could be a retard of the week.
Flip-flops are a bold choice for a shootout. That is a great comment.
Yeah, so there's a police chase going on. This guy gets T-boned in an intersection and spun around, and he just gets out of his car, comes out firing. It looks like you can't really see because he's behind the door initially. Cops return fire. And he's just walking towards them in flip-flops with socks, by the way. And he didn't look like he lasted very long there. Might want to stay behind the door for some cover.
There were a lot of poor life choices were made this day. The first one was socks and flip-flops when he left the house, and then it was all downhill from there.
No, we lost another rocket scientist, another engineer, another neurosurgeon, cut down in his prime.
Yeah, another future lawyer.
Yes,
doctor,
I'm gonna say just
whatever.
what the world needs is another fucking lawyer. Have you been following the prelim trials for what's his name? The Charlie Kirk assassin?
Oh, no, I have not.
It's kind of weird. They're doing like a preliminary thing where the prosecution has to show probable cause, basically enough evidence that this should go to trial.
Usually that's like a grand jury proceeding that's closed door and
so Utah does this other thing where they don't use a lot of grand juries. They do this thing in front of the judge, and normally it's maybe a couple hours or something where you're like, oh yeah, listen, we got this, we got that, and the judge is like, okay, yeah, there's enough to go to trial. This is like a 5-day thing, which is bizarre because the amount of evidence is kind of overwhelming. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories circulating around it, but they've got this guy.
I did see something about the shooter brought his tranny boyfriend's cum rag with him or something. I was like, is that like your comfort blanket for? Yeah, I'm gonna use that to wipe prints off. I don't know what's.
Didn't sound like he wiped his prints off the gun or the bullets. Like I said, they have those weird text messages that seem kind of too good to be true, but I'm guessing the metadata on the phones is going to back that up. They got the letter that he left his furry boyfriend. They have the furry boyfriend on the record saying that he came back to the place and he told me that he killed him. He admitted to everything. Certainly seems overwhelming that there's enough evidence to go to trial here, but anyway, that's been in the news this week.
Well, we'll have to follow up on that next week.
Yeah. And then there was a couple Supreme Court rulings that really sucked. Was that last week? Probably. Yeah. Sounds like Trump lost the birthright citizenship ruling.
Yeah, there are state governors and secretaries of state that are in the process of finding ways to mitigate that, but Amy Coney Barrett seems to have pretty sufficiently proven that women should never be allowed to make any sort of meaningful decision ever. I don't know why we continue to allow them and their suicidal empathy to destroy our country, but here we are.
Yeah. Maybe we can, if something comes up with that, we can dive into it again, because we talked about it before on the show. But not only do I think that it's not like they're actually not following the Constitution or the 14th Amendment. Yeah. Like, I think it's actually bad law, like bad interpretation. And it's also just a retarded way of managing a country.
I did read the Clarence Thomas dissent.
He was pissed.
He wrote a 91-page dissent, and like he was 100% right. He nailed it on the fucking head. Like this was bad, and it's not as if things like this don't come back around to the Supreme Court. I mean, Roe versus Wade was overturned several years ago. You know, there's other things, so it's not like there's not an avenue for it to come back to the court. But yeah, as of right this moment, that is a pretty fucking bad ruling.
Yeah. So I think that's just about everything that we kind of missed last week, more or less, give or take. Probably a couple hundred migrant attacks across the world, and the USA soccer team embarrassing themselves against Belgium. And what else? Nobody really gives a shit about soccer, though.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of those games?
I watched. I watched the U.S. score a goal in a game, and that was it.
I watched a couple of the Mexico games were entertaining.
Mom and Dad turned it on. I happened to be standing in the living room when the ball game on, and this dude kicks it in, and that put the U.S. up 1-0 1-0 at the time. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went and did other shit. I was like, yeah, I got my World Cup fix. I watched the U.S. score a goal. I don't need to see anything else.
Yeah, I watched like a couple halves of the Mexican game. The Mexico games were actually pretty entertaining, by soccer standards I'm talking about here. And then, the only USA game I watched was part of the last one. They went down 2-0, or no, they 1-0, and 2-0. I think like immediately, and then they ended up getting like a penalty kick kind of thing, and it bounced it off of this Belgium dude's head into their goal. So Belgium actually kind of scored the goal on themselves, and then I was like, oh, nice, they're back in it. And then like 5 seconds later, Belgium scores again. I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. These guys suck. They're fucking pussies, just falling around, pretending like they tripped over a blade of grass, and it was like basically breaking your leg in half.
Hey, Trump got FIFA to overturn that suspension of that one guy. So.
Yeah, that was a big story. I didn't even know that when I was watching it. I found out the next day that was like a huge story, that like one of the best players on the U.S. was like got a red card the game before, and he was supposed to be suspended. Big difference that made having him play. He didn't do shit. So anyway,
hey, if he hadn't played, they might have given up 10 goals instead of 8.
Yeah, you never know, but they look pretty bad to me from the 20 minutes that I watched. So
I don't know much about soccer, but I know 8 is a high number.
Yeah, that is true. All right, so we doing a happy hour tonight? I think it's happy hour night.
Yeah, we could possibly do that.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30 Central Time. We'll throw back a few, have some shits and giggles. I'll go take a beach walk. I think it's nice and sunny. The sun's coming out. A little exercise, get some steps in. I've been in front of the fucking computer all day. all goddamn day. I've had enough. So
Hell
let's wrap this up. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back on Tuesday, unless Justin decides to take another week off, with a brand new episode. Until then, you know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.